Podketeers.
I do not have a poker face. So
I was gonna. I mean, it's better than that than me being like Max Headroom, like in the last video episode.
Dude, can I tell you something about that?
Sure.
People love you, okay?
yeah.
Oh, they do?
I had message after message, either on Instagram or like text messages for people that actually have my phone number, saying, yo, there's something wrong with the video. Andrew's tweaking out. There's something wrong. He's like, there's all these glitchy things. And I was like, no, it's just like Ralph breaks the internet. It's like, that's all it is. Don't worry about it. But I had multiple people messaging me about your video. And I felt so bad because YouTube doesn't have like a way to replace a video, which is kind of the issue that we had with a lot of the old episodes, right? Where like if you're watching the videos on YouTube where I had to cut out the music that we've had like the copyright strikes for, when I first upload it and I get the alert, then I can make quick edits and then re-upload it before people start watching it before it gets published, right?
Right.
But once people watch it and once there's analytics tied to it, listen, we're not getting like hundreds of thousands of views on the video, but every view counts right now for us, right?
It sure does.
So,
up to 30 views on these videos.
That's what I'm saying.
Nothing.
It's not. And they mean so much to us because we have so few of them.
Right.
And really, from an analytics standpoint, as we're trying to build up the channel, all of that counts, right? And YouTube doesn't have a way for us to replace a video with an edited version if something like that comes up. Like, I wish they did, but our podcast host company does have that feature, which is why I was able to re-upload the MP3s for the podcast. And now there's a disclaimer on all of those episodes in the description that says, this audio was edited there, and it talks about what happened with the audio. So if anybody new that listens to those is going to hear like, and so as our Christmas favorite songs, here's blah, blah, blah. And then there's just like silence for a few seconds. It's like, wasn't that song great? It's like, what song? It's like, we sound like crazy people.
And
but on
now
YouTube, I can't do
a
that.
song from 1974.
That's right. It's me, Casey Kasem. So YouTube can't replace it, and so I felt bad because everybody's messaging me about your video being all glitched out and stuff. And honestly, I don't know what happened. I downloaded the video so that we could do the regular like video editing, and I couldn't figure out what was wrong with it. I caught it during the editing process, but it was also really late when I was editing on Sunday, so I didn't have a chance to sit there and really try to figure it out. So I will take some of that blame.
That's
for
okay.
not sitting there and fixing it.
We'll blame the recording.
But people love
technology.
you.
It happens.
But
Stuff
people
happens.
love you. They were worried about you. They're like, did he go into another dimension and then come back? Like, what is wrong with Andrew? Is he okay?
You're not game jumping, are you, Ralph?
Were you? Oh, were you?
It's the glitch.
Oh my God, Andrew's the glitch.
Turbo-tastic.
So, yeah, to everybody that sent me messages about the video, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I wish there was more I could do about it. We were aware of it, but, you know.
It was only like 10 minutes or so. It wasn't the whole video. It was just like a little chunk.
I felt bad. I mean, it's a significant amount, but,
I was watching, I was like, luckily I'm not saying much in that section.
So,
I just kind of,
still felt bad.
Having a little, it looked like a animatronic that was malfunctioning.
Should we just call you King Candy for the rest of the episode?
King Candy, yeah, fellow. My loyal subjects. And anybody that doesn't agree goes to the Fungin.
You should add a Quizneyland commercial with King Candy.
I've done one.
No, a new one.
Oh, a new one.
Yeah.
Oh.
Now that you are officially, well, we'd have to come up with a better name for you. What do you want to be? King Churro.
It's Emperor Candy now. Thank you very much.
Okay, I'll go for Emperor Candy.
Emperor
I was thinking King Churro, but we'll go Emperor Churro.
Emperor Churro.
Yeah, or Emperor Candy if you want to stick to it. I mean, it's up to you. But yeah, if you make a new one, now that you have been crowned.
I have a little tiny crown like he has.
Should I 3D print one for you?
Hey, you know what? If you can afford it, since those filaments going up in price.
Dude,
Ooh.
listen. I know that there are more important things to worry about in this world. The cost of food and everything going up because of just the circumstances that are beyond our current control. But when I started getting emails from all those companies saying that filament is going to be going up anywhere from 15 to 25% in the next few weeks, I realized that this new hobby is not something I'm going to be able to just have fun as much as I wanted to this summer and everything with the boys. I think it's going to be something that is going to be used much more sparingly going forward.
You have to save those plastic bottles and melt them down and turn them into...
make my own filament out of them, yeah.
I feel that.
All your supplies for all this stuff, I'm sure, is all going to start going up as well.
Yep. I kind of, what is it called?
Stockpile.
Yes. Did I do this in advance?
Do
kind of. Am I going to be like selective? Yes, because I kind of want to manage with what I have. I don't want to buy anything new.
Yeah.
Can I wait another 4 years? I don't know.
Yeah.
Hopefully it won't be that long.
I hope. I mean, I don't know. I've been worried about just the world in general when it comes to that. But like for the 3D printing part, I had several projects lined up that I wanted to do kind of as summer projects with the boys to have something. I found a couple of really fun projects where we were going to build, like you could buy like those little motors, you know, and create gears and everything for them. And we wanted to make a working claw machine. So we were going to print it and make a working claw machine, like with servos and stuff like that. I thought that was going to be pretty fun. And then in my head, I kind of got stuck. I wasn't going to be as big as the one that we saw in the video. But I really want to make a Bill Cipher animatronic. You don't understand how much I want to build this animatronic.
Well, okay.
So,
paper mache and not 3D print? A lot?
I'm sure that there's like ways around it, right? But there's like all these little projects that I've been wanting to do as I was getting better at 3D printing. And that's the problem, right? Like you have to do more printing in order to get better. You get better at troubleshooting. You get better. Like approaching this is not just like the model part of it, but also knowing how the temperature and the humidity and everything, the other factors play into like what you're printing and the area that you're printing in, right? And so now I kind of found like I'm better at a little bit of that. So I have that. I have the projection project that I wanted to work on to do the castle and the fireworks that I've been, talking about. So there's this list of things that I feel are going to be a little harder to do now because of the price of it. I wish I could stockpile stuff, but those boxes are fairly large. Like I don't have just a bunch of space to store a bunch of these. And even in this last order that I placed an order for 10 rolls because I knew I was going to be making some stuff to give away, like to the FGP Squad and stuff like that. So I think for a lot of the larger projects that I think that I had planned, I'm going to have to set aside, and I'm mainly going to leave the rolls that I bought as to make the things that we give away to the FGP Squad, and maybe some things to like auction off for some of the fundraising things, because I don't know if we're going to be able to participate in Chalk Walk, but that's coming up I think in August. Even if we don't participate in person, maybe we can raise a couple $100. I don't expect to raise a lot, but then we also have the Cancer Walk for Hope coming up as well. That's going to be in November, so I wanted to make some stuff to help auction off or to give away as prizes for like the highest, like the top fundraisers and stuff like that. So I like you said, I'm gonna have to be a little more sparing with what I use it for.
Yeah, I mean, but that'll be, I guess, maybe you'll be able to be a little more selective on what you really, I don't know.
I'm just concerned that I know I will have to be more selective, but it's the practicing portion that I think I'm going to be missing.
Again and
so I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully things settle down and things correct course.
Yeah.
But, again, honestly, this is like the least of the worries of a lot of people out there. So I know I'm speaking. The fact that I even have that thing that, my kids and I can use, and the fact that I can buy the filament, I know is 100% speaking from a place of privilege. And, I don't take that for granted. But, I just take a breath. Right?
Yeah.
I think that's where we all are right now.
Yeah.
So let's pivot a little bit to other stuff. Andrew, I don't think you got this because you're definitely too far up north. But anyone that was in the Southern California area this last week got a crazy alert really early in the morning. I forgot what day it was. Monday, Tuesday, whatever. Monday, around 10 a.m. ish. The phone went off, and it was like, there is an earthquake coming. It's going to be coming soon. You should do something about this. Stop, drop, roll, hide in a cave, do whatever you got to do. And I'm like, is this one of those, like, test alerts, like when the fires were happening, like that accidentally went out? Like, is this real right now? And then about 30 seconds later, the ground started to shake. I'm like, oh my god, they predicted an earthquake.
That's the first time that's the first time I felt like that.
Yeah,
because usually we can't predict them. We don't get anything.
Yeah,
it's like you're lucky if you hear it. And the best way to describe the sound of it, I've seen someone describe it as a semi-truck going really loud next to your window, like it's roaring. And then it happens.
Yeah. This one, the last time I remember getting one of these alerts that there was an earthquake happening, I remember getting 2 minutes after the earthquake actually happened.
Yeah.
And I think I think it all has to do with the proximity of where it's happening to how quickly they can get the alert out. Because I'm sure that they have some kind of measuring system drilled into the ground where they feel the seismic activity. And it's really just a matter of how fast they can get that message out. And being connected directly to cell phone services and stuff like that, where they can just drop the alert versus like send it to headquarters. Headquarters will send a message to this person. That person will be like, we should send out an alert. Like now it's probably just hooked up directly to the emergency system, which is why it came so quickly. But it was near San Diego, really, really Southern California. I think the first measurement was like 5.8, and then it got downgraded to like 5.2, which is still significantly large.
It is, yeah.
But the fact that they were able to send this alert out and we were able to just kind of stop, like we were on a work call as everybody's phone started going, man.
Yes, that's how it sounded like.
And we're like
terror.
Is everybody getting this alert? It says there's an earthquake. I was like, I don't feel anything. It says wait a second. Hold on. There it is. There it is. And then I'm checking on the boys, making sure everybody's okay. And it was an intense situation. I don't exactly know how I feel about it. Like, do I want to know? Do I want it to just surprise me? Like, what's better?
We've lived this far.
Yeah. There's a part of me that's like, listen, if it's not over 7, don't tell me about it. Just let it happen.
I could tell you from my standpoint, I was in a class, and to hear that, like, it freaked our students out. And at the same time, I'm trying to be like, I didn't even get it because I was dumb and I don't have emergency alerts on, which I changed. I learned. But the sound of it and stuff is like, you're like, what is going on? And then you're like, oh, there's an earthquake. Oh my gosh, try not to freak out. Try to not get things situated. And then you hear, "We need an evac. Please go outside." Da 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 da. Whatever. Okay, cool. So that's fun. That's always fun, especially in the sun.
Right. Well, we've gotten earthquakes up here before, at least that I've been around for. And the thing that always comes around, I'm sure you guys get it down there too, is the meme of the lawn chair tipped over and it says, "We will rebuild." That's
never seen that. That's
You've
awesome.
never seen it?
I've never seen that before.
A plastic lawn chair tipped over. This is, "We will rebuild." That's kind of the intensity of the earthquakes that we get up here usually.
That's straight up from someone in California. Like that's
I mean, this was I get it. I mean, there is a lot of seismic activity. I think there's only been one time where I felt what was considered an aftershock in the parks. And you don't like the thing about being in the parks when there's any type of emergency, especially an earthquake, things shut down, right? Because they have to make sure that everything is still functioning properly, that everything can pass all the safety inspection tests. Right. And so you kind of have nothing to do in the park whenever something like that happens, regardless of how strong it was. Like it could be like a 1.5, but if it measured enough that something rattled, it gets shut down. Right. Yeah. So and that's great. I think that's a wonderful safety procedure. But especially on a long, hot day, when especially now that there aren't as many trees as there used to be, and there's less areas for you to take cover under to beat the heat. It's not fun, man. I do not envy anybody that has to be in the parks or that is in the parks when something like that happens.
And if something like that happens, please give the cast members grace, because they're facing with like 10, 20, 30 faces at the same time asking the same question. So please, 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 please have patience with them.
But I paid for the lightning lane.
That's exactly what I heard once.
I need to get on now because I have a flight that I have to go to, and I paid for Rise of Resistance.
But ma'am, the ride is shut down. I'm sorry, you can't get on right now.
Listen, you're ruining my entire life.
Listen.
There's no magic at Disneyland anymore. You're ruining my life. I paid for it. Magic happens.
Listen.
For me with my money.
I've heard, this is just a rumor. I've heard that there is magic at Epic Universe.
Yes, there is.
Well, maybe I'll just take my money elsewhere. Wouldn't you like that?
Well, maybe you should.
Can I share? Oh, wait, do we have time? Yes, we do. So I have a little
We just
quick
started.
story.
We got all time in the world.
That's true. I have a little story of a guest that I don't know if you guys remember the last earthquake in San Diego that really shook everything. It was over Easter, like.
Oh my God, we're so close to Easter as well.
We are.
11 years
sorry,
ago?
I didn't mean to
11
scare
years ago. Dun, dun, dun. 11 is 1 + 1 is 2. And 2 is the times that, I don't know. It's like I was trying to come up with some kind of like.
It's okay.
Theory
so at the
something.
time, I was in Innoventions, and on the top, because there's no actual structure or walls, that building just goes side to side. It sways
because it sits in the middle of that. It's like on a rolling thing because there's a turntable.
Right.
Yeah.
That too. So I had a guest. We had Xbox at the time, and they were playing the games, and we couldn't say earthquake. We could not. It was like bad show to say that because it kind of scares people. So you had to say not a natural disaster or something like that.
Seismic activity.
Seismic activity. Thank you. That's it. And so we would tell these guests, like, hey, we just had some seismic activity. We need to evacuate. Can you please find your way to the exit? And one person, I did not get fired. I'm so glad. Kept playing. And I'm like, sir, we had an earthquake. Please leave the building. Like, I had to yell at this person.
You're like, I'm trying to
Because
play
people
Lego
don't get
Pirates
it.
of the Caribbean right now on the Xbox.
I don't have one of these at home.
Right.
So that's one of the many stories I'm sure cast members have encountered with earthquakes. So
Right.
be nice to them
My goodness.
and listen.
Yeah,
Kind rewind.
I mean, in general, you should be good to cast members, right?
Right.
Like we've talked about
Right.
this before. The cast members
Of
are the
course.
ones creating the magic for you, so
Mm-hmm.
treat them nicely. Like it's not, they are not obligated to give you anything.
Right.
Like the fact that you approach them and you're like, I heard on TikTok that if you do this and you ask for this, you're supposed to give me this. No, they're not obligated to give you.
I heard
And
that
have
if
a
I
magical
wear a
day.
shirt with a swear on it into Disneyland, they'll give me a free Mickey Mouse shirt.
No, sir. We will turn you away at the door and say, please change before you come into the park.
That's not what I heard on Twitter.
Well, Twitter's was wrong. Sorry to tell you.
You're ruining my vacation. I don't know why he starts to
If
sound
you
like
want some-
Foghorn
It's
Leghorn.
like, listen, I heard if you want a good vacation, you should go to Epic Universe.
I say, boy, I say that you're ruining my vacation up in here, boy. What do you say?
Am
I say,
though? Am I though?
All right.
I say, I want a free churro. You see?
Well, I'll tell you what. You can get a free churro if you go to Epic Universe.
Nobody's reporting on this if they have churros at Epic Universe or
This
not.
would have been great. Like,
What do you-
16 days ago.
Right? I
It
mean,
doesn't
listen,
officially open until May 22nd.
yeah, it's still in
Epic
previews.
Universe.
Have you seen the videos? Okay, so I know we talked about the videos for the Monsters Unchained in the last episode. We didn't show the video because we wanted to give some people an opportunity. I know there's some people going to previews and stuff.
It's
and-
not even open yet, so yeah.
Right. But we wanted to give some people some time in case they didn't want it spoiled yet. And then the Harry Potter attraction, that I think was embargoed for a while because people weren't posting any videos.
And also, like, I was hearing a lot of stuff. I heard people listen to a couple podcasts about it, and I guess it hasn't really been open much. Like,
Oh, interesting.
it's been like having a lot of technical difficulties. So, like, it's been
Oof.
like only open for like an hour a day sometimes because it was having like a lot of issues in those previews.
Well, in the time that it's been open
Right.
and the time that the videos, like people have been able to sneak videos, it looks amazing.
Oh yeah, there's one out, a whole full one.
It looks amazing. I mean, again, it's a mixture of everything that we talked about with the Monsters Unchained. They use a lot of the same technology, but the building is just massive, and the way that the attraction is constructed, it makes the movement and the projections, the screens, the way that they're using the space, makes it look even larger than what it is. They've done a job of optimizing that. And the video that I saw wasn't even a really high quality video either.
Yeah,
it was
not. It's like somebody sneaking it.
yeah. So I'm looking forward to, again, when it breaks down and we get to see it broken down on video, just to kind of get an
Right.
idea of what it looks like,
The
with
magic,
the
yeah.
lights on, exactly. But I do want to see like a 4K video, posted at some point of the attraction. I will say that in the video that I saw, there was like some fragments of video that looked like it was kind of a 3D screen where it looks kind of chopped up, and I don't know if that was just because they were filming on an iPhone Potato or something, or like what was going on.
Right.
I don't think it's a 3D attraction, so I don't think it requires the glasses or anything like that.
It was filmed on a Sony Ericsson.
Oh, well, there you go. That explains it. Now we know. So yeah,
No,
I'm
it's
looking
not
forward.
3D as far as I know. I
Yeah.
haven't heard anything about glasses.
Okay, so hopefully we get a better view of it. But at least from this like sneaky video, man, it looks good.
It
looks
seems to
really
be
good.
very like Rise of Resistance-esque. It's trackless
Yeah.
ride vehicles. There's now Rise of Resistance seems to have a lot more physical sets and animatronics and things. You know, Rise of Resistance is almost no screens other than like through windows sort of thing.
Yeah.
And this one is, I don't
almost
know,
all
3/4 screens. Yeah, with like I think it's kind of similar in idea to like that Shanghai Pirates, where it's a lot of screens and then like physical sets in front of it to kind of blend in. But there are, I mean, animatronics in the video I watched. We got a couple of creatures. There was a couple of the Pink Lady, and then like a Harry Potter and a Ron or something. I don't know. There's like quite a few animatronics, from what I could tell, and they look all right. Again, like it was, filmed on a, Motorola Razr or something. So I don't know what the detail wasn't there, but
I will say that even in the low quality video that we saw, first of all, I was surprised to see like people from the original cast in this. I didn't think that they were going to be a part of it. I thought this was just going to be kind of like a new story, or like using like other characters so that they didn't have to pay them royalties or anything like that. So when I saw Emma Watson in the video, I was like, whoa, Hermione's in this.
I think that's all AI and CG. I think they somehow.
You think so?
I think they own their likeness as those characters.
I mean, I wouldn't doubt it.
I'm pretty sure the three of them are very outspoken against like stuff, and unless like they have some ironclad contract where it says you have to appear in anything we tell you to.
I don't think they do. I think so. I know what you're getting at. I think they're against the writer. I think they're against her, but because Warner Brothers is really the company that's putting all of this together, I think like she like gets royalties and stuff like that, like as despicable as she is, but like Warner Brothers is really the one that
Warner Brothers has
and, like, stuff like that. So
the rights, and then Universal is licensing them.
Right. So I think that's why they might be okay with it. Like, I think they're more, you know what I mean? So, but I mean, it could be what you're saying. So I don't know. But when I saw them, I wouldn't doubt it if it is AI, but because they do look fairly young. I don't think they filmed this when they were filming like part 5 of the movies, right? Like, and they just kind of banked it or whatever. They're not using like stuff that made it on the cutting room floor as like supplemental video. But a lot of the attractions that I think we're gonna see in theme parks going forward are a lot of this. Like, we kind of see this with web slingers. We obviously see it with Rise of the Resistance, Avengers Infinity Defense, which is supposed to be the next big e-ticket that we're supposed to be getting at Avengers Campus in California Adventure. I think because of the space of that building, I think it's going to be the same thing. It's going to be a lot of screens. It's going to be a lot of like motion sim and stuff like that. Trackless vehicles to a certain extent. Like, who knows? But there isn't a lot of space to put like a whole attraction, right? So this could be just the future of attractions. Obviously, it's good in a way because you get to see a lot more detail. They get to, they have a lot more freedom to do stuff when there's a lot of CG that you can implement into it. But there's a lot to be said about the practicality of animatronics and what we have available to us as physical like items in front of us, right? They bring us into the room, and they make us a part of the ambiance a little bit better. So I don't know.
I did look this up. Article from Attraction Magazine says, if we were to nitpick, it would be the voices of Harry, Ron, and Hermione. Their sound-alike performances. Original actors Dan Radcliffe, Rupert Grint, and Emma Watson, respectively, did not reprise their roles for this ride, and we could tell. We must say, though, they sound better than sound-alikes on previous Potter rides. They weren't perfect, but most rides riders won't be able to tell the difference. But they do say that Imelda Stanton, who plays Dolores Umbridge, is playing herself.
Okay, so the kids are not them.
The kids are not
so you were
them.
right. They are actually
They're like
CG characters.
I think they're like body doubles, and then probably CG faces on top. They probably had real actors in the room.
Nah, man.
I wouldn't put it past them. So knowing how Warner Brothers has been lately, so.
Well, and I mean it's Universal too. Like they probably are like, okay, how what's the cheapest we can get away with doing this too? Like because they got a lot of.
There's a lot of theme parks.
Right.
And
Theme
Well,
parks.
I mean,
What am I
we got
talking
the same
about?
thing with Avengers Campus. Like,
Sorry.
you got your fake
Company
Robert Downey
names.
Jr. and you got your, okay, Pepper. All right, we're here.
Yeah.
I'm Iron Man. Everybody, like,
Yeah,
it's
doesn't sound.
but then you
anything.
get Tom Holland in the Spider-Man ride, and you get some here and there.
That's where they
so
blew the
it's-
budget.
Right. So it
They
all
blew the
depends
budget
on
Tom Holland.
who wants to do it and what their contract allows the company to get them for.
That makes sense. That's why we didn't get the e-ticket, because they blew all the money on Tom Holland appearing in Web Slingers.
Right. He is expensive.
The meeting adjourned. We've solved
Yep.
it. Well, I mean, it could also be what you said earlier, that, I could be completely wrong, and it could just be that they're all against it and they don't want to associate with the franchise anymore because of those circumstances, and that's why they use the body doubles or whatever the case is. I could have sworn it was them, but again, the video was so low res that,
Right.
I mean, they fooled me, so April Fool's again on me, I guess. All right. Well, once we have a video, we'll post it or we'll talk about it in an upcoming episode, and hopefully we won't get shut down or, get some kind of strike against it or anything.
Right.
Maybe we'll just watch it without the volume. It'll be fine. Hey, speaking of natural disasters, this one was not so natural. Did you hear that there was a fire in the parking structure at the
Yeah.
Pixar parking structure?
Oh, yeah, a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, it was kind of intense. There was a car, I guess there was some kind of malfunction where the car caught fire and like 12 other cars were damaged. Part of the parking structure was damaged. Luckily, nobody was around, so no
That's good.
people were harmed as part of the fire, which is fantastic. So to all of the firefighters, all the cast members that were involved in putting out that fire and trying to keep people safe, thank you. Well done. That was great. I mean, the whole situation sucks, but the fact that nobody got hurt, the fact that, they were able to contain it as quickly as they did, thank you
Right.
so much, for being there and doing that. So it's a bad situation just altogether. Let's see. Hey, did you guys finally finish watching Daredevil?
I did.
I
You
haven't
did?
even started it.
How overall, what's your review of this season?
The way that they wrote each episode and the way that things flowed, it flows so well. Each episode, we kept asking ourselves, how was that? How was it done? Like, we were just so into it that 40 minutes flew by. It just flew by. You were always engaged. There's a lot of, I want to say it gets really good in between, like, when you start and you learn about the character and then about the issue and this and that, but you really don't predict what happens because there's a lot of plot twists, which made it really fresh. And that's a good thing, because if it's predictable, it's kind of like, oh, well, we already knew like what was going to happen. And the final episodes, remember when I started with smash, smash, blood, splat, and then blood, and then more splat? I love that they allowed Daredevil to just be messy, bloody. Some parts I was freaking my cat out because we were watching all together on the couch, and I was reacting in a way that he hasn't seen me. So his ears were like Like, what are you doing? Why are you screaming? Like, I was that into it. It's really good, and I'm really excited for the next season. I mean, if they could make and produce Marvel films shows like this, that would be great. Because this was like the adult stuff that we finally got that isn't bubblegum. It just felt good.
Okay.
Like, yeah.
That's good.
That's
It's
good.
not Disney fight or anything.
That was going to be my question. So the reason I'm bringing it up is because I found out about a documentary recently that I wanted to add to my watch list. And I remember, like, it showed me Daredevil. I'll talk about the doc in a moment, but like Daredevil showed up, and I wondered if you had finished watching it, because like Daredevil, as far as like from what you had told me, felt like the Netflix version of it. It didn't feel like the Disney Plus version of these Marvel shows that we've been getting. And so I wanted to know if you had seen it all and if it kind of felt like that all the way through. And just listening to you say that, like, it basically felt like that. I'm like,
say they
okay.
went more.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
They went more than Netflix. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess I need to put that on my list a little bit higher and get to it much sooner than later. So that's good to hear. That's good to hear. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'll have to report back on it once I watch it. But yeah, I was pretty excited because I found out about this documentary called Titanic, The Digital Resurrection. And I've talked on the podcast about how I loved, all like the mystery things and Stonehenge and everything. But I've always loved like stories of things like Titanic and what went into it and the mystery behind it. But really, I like the story because of the mystery of why it sank and not knowing anything about it for so many years until like the 80s when they finally found the wreckage, right? And so there was this company. I haven't watched it yet. I know a little bit about it, but there's this company that essentially created this new technology using kind of photography with LiDAR, where they were able to go down to the Titanic and essentially do a full 3D scan to the detail of knowing like the numbers etched into the rudders.
Wow.
Okay, to basically simulate the moment the Titanic hit the iceberg, to debunk a lot of the myths of how it sank and like what the movie talked about, how it just smashed into the iceberg and split in half. From the preview that I saw, they were talking about how it didn't smash into the iceberg the way that the film depicts it, that basically it grazed the iceberg like as thin as a sheet of paper. But because water was like, the ship was designed so that if 4 compartments filled with water, it would still stay afloat. It basically grazed over 6. And so those 6 compartments filled with water, and it made it too heavy, and that's what kind of split the ship in half. That's why it began to sink. The second half of Titanic, they were able to figure out the trajectory of why it was so far away and the swirling pattern that it hit to make it fall the way that it did to the bottom of the ocean. They were able to confirm where it hit, how long it took. And the company, like the two robots that were essentially taking the pictures and scanning the ship were called Romeo and Juliet. I was like, why didn't they call them Jack and Rose? They missed out. That was like an opportunity. That was like, whatever. But they took 715,000 images to put this giant scan together.
Oh my gosh.
More impressive than that, okay, is that because of how they were taking it, it's kind of like a giant 3D render. They built a lab with these 100-foot tall screens to basically watch a life-size version of the wreckage, and they could scan through it on these giant screens. It's so crazy. It's so intense.
That's cool.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to watching this documentary. As soon as I found out about it, I went to Disney Plus and I added it to my watch list. If you're interested, again, it's called Titanic: The Digital Resurrection. I'm like, it's on my weekend watch list. I got WrestleMania this weekend, but at some point I'm gonna watch this.
One
as
of
well,
these weekends.
No, it's gonna be this weekend. Might be before WrestleMania. I don't know. We'll see.
Okay.
Have to fit it in somewhere. Titanic, then WrestleMania.
All right.
Yep.
Yeah. Let's see. What else do we have? We made some Dreamlight Valley announcements. We're getting some new content. I want to jump into that, but before we do, I want to take a brief moment to thank a very special group of listeners, our podcast Fairy Godparents, because it's their support via Patreon that helped make these episodes of Podketeers possible. Our podcast Fairy Godparents, aka the FGP Squad, it's a name they gave themselves because hashtag Fairy Godparents was like way too long, so FGP Squad as a hashtag was born, and that's what they've been known as for years now. It's been great. Being a part of the FGP Squad family gets you some additional perks, like access to additional content that we've uploaded to Patreon, access to discount codes for new Podketeers gear, random giveaways, access to our happy hour calls when we get an opportunity to do those, access to a special section of Discord, and more. So if you are interested in becoming a part of the FGP Squad family, we invite you to go to podketeers.com/FGP. And of course, to all of the members of the FGP Squad, we just want to send a huge thank you for your continued support. Since we're talking about links, I want to remind you that podketeers.com/links is where you want to go for some of our most commonly asked for links, including our latest episode, the Quizneyland playlist, a link to any fundraisers that we're running with our official charity team, Teamboat Willie. You will also find a link, of course, to our Discord and the FGP Squad. You'll also find a link to our YouTube channel and our pal Larry's YouTube channel, Goofy Guys Adventures. If you like live streams from the parks, make sure that you're subscribed to Larry's channel. He live streams usually 2 or 3 times a week. And of course, we have a link to our Armchair Imagineering playlist. So again, podketeers.com/links. Bookmark it, add a little shortcut to your home screen. That way you have easy access to it. Anytime that we also have alerts, we put them on that page as well. Like when the fires were happening, we added a section for, helping people that had been affected by the fires. It's actually still there. I've been leaving it up for a little while longer because I know there's a lot of cleanup and there's a lot of donations and stuff going on. So it'll probably be there for another couple of months or something before I take it down. But yeah, podketeers.com/links. If you have any additional questions, please feel free to reach out. We'll be happy to answer any questions that you might have. So let's get back to the podcast. All right. Dreamlight Valley. They just dropped an announcement of some new content that's coming. Mel, I know that you're super excited about this update. Do you want to talk about it?
I am. So we learned that things are going to get whimsy, which is awesome, but more wondrous as well. And we're going to see a little bit more of Wonderland, which is amazing.
Whee!
So amazing, especially if you purchase the, gosh, I can't remember these updates. Brain fart.
The expansion packs?
Yes. What's the latest one? Okay, well, we'll just say the latest one. I can't remember.
Or something, right? Is that what the second one's called?
Eternity Isle was the second one.
Yeah, that's what.
Right, it's not a riff in time.
Man, I don't even remember what it's called.
Okay, so brain fart. We'll forget about that.
And it's the one I've been playing recently.
Right.
Let me look it up while you're still talking. I'll tell you right now.
Basically, if you purchase that, then you're going to be excited for this update because
Storybook
Veil.
Storybook Veil is what it's called.
Thank you. It's late, so there you go. We're getting Alice. We're getting 2 characters, I should have said. We're getting Alice, and we're finally getting the Cheshire Cats. Like, yay! Like, finally, like this is somebody that should have been here from the beginning, but they're gonna go. I think they're gonna go great with the newest things that we have, and then now we have more. We could make our own Wonderland. That's gonna be the best part. The outfits are adorable, and then if you look at the if you look at the the promo picture, you see all the little characters, all the little like the flowers, the mome rats. Just it's so cool. So I don't know if we're gonna get a realm, but I don't care. We are. Okay, there we go.
Yeah. So I know a little bit about this. They posted a video where they were talking about the update. I wanted to watch the whole thing before we recorded so I could talk about it. I'm glad that you knew a little bit about it, because in the little that I was able to catch, the realm, the way that it's animated is it's going to have the full door, and when you unlock it, it's going to shrink down.
Oh,
and when the
that's
door
so cool.
opens, the white rabbit's going to jump out. So when you go in, it's going to look like you're swirling down into Wonderland. And some of the updates that they're doing, just like things to help the game, a lot of features that people have been requesting. Yeah, a lot of quality of life stuff.
Yeah.
There's a lot of features people have been asking for that they're going to be adding, including a machine that you get as part of one of the Cheshire Cat like quests that you're going to get, that will allow you to deconstruct items to the original materials that you used to create it. So
that's awesome.
If you were like me and you had 500 chests to keep all the pumpkins when you were trying to be the Pumpkin King of Dreamlight Valley,
Yep.
now I can deconstruct all of them and use that wood for something else.
Yeah.
It looks like there's going to be some kind of time frame associated with it. So if you're like, the more complex that the item is, the longer it's going to take to deconstruct it, and it's going to cost you Dreamlight to use it. But Dreamlight is pretty easy to come by, so it's not a big deal.
No.
But yeah, we talked a little bit about Storybook Vale when it first released, and Storybook Vale, with the way that it's leaning into Sleeping Beauty, and the way that it's kind of had the storybook aspect, and now that they're adding Alice, there is like a teapot area, like a fantasy, like fairy tale area in the new Storybook Vale. So it kind of made sense that they were adding this next. But the Cheshire Cat is going to have a whole other set of quests. I don't think the Cheshire Cat is coming as part of the initial update. I think there's going to be more story, that it will eventually incorporate him. But yeah, the simple things for the enhancements are going to be like how you can position things on tables, how you can turn them. You can do like half spaces now instead of full blocks in order to get some symmetry. If you like to have, symmetrical dream snaps and stuff like that you're submitting. They're adding some new features to the camera, which is something that a lot of people have been asking for as far as dream snaps are concerned. I've been I don't do it every week. I did it more often when I was doing the Star Path, but I've been trying to keep up with the dream snaps just to get some moonstones to help. I had enough this last time that when it came to the shop this week, on my second account, I was able to buy the Alice dress that they had in the shop. So that account now has it, which is going to come in handy for the Wonderland Dream Snaps that are going to be coming up, which is pretty good.
I'm sure.
But yeah, the maze and the hedges, it looks like the way that they described it almost feels like there's going to be kind of like a mini game aspect to how you get around the guards in the garden. Because when they added Aladdin and they added the additional story for that realm, they had these like dirt tornadoes that if
like
you hit them, they
devils.
would like bounce you back to the beginning of the stage, and you had to like find your way around. So there was almost like this little mini game aspect to try to get through the realm. It looks like they've added another layer to that, and the guards are going to be like have something similar. Like if they see you or they catch you, you kind of go back to the beginning. But all of the decorations, all of the new hedges, all of the new trees, everything they're adding for Wonderland looks so freaking good, man. Alice's house looks like the White Rabbit's house. It looks very similar to the one that you see at Disneyland as well. It's It looks so good. Like to have the teacups next to that house, to add some hedges, to add the stuff that's coming to decorate it, all of the flowers with the faces and everything that we're getting in the game.
It's so cool.
It's if there was any Star Path that you might want to play, this is one of the ones I think I'm going to just straight up recommend, because it's there's not a lot of, this is weird to say, because the game is basically based on Disney characters and, you know, Disney properties, but there's not a lot of Disney in the game, right? Because it's its own storyline, is its own thing. Like when they did the Rift in Time expansion, it was a totally different story that kind of incorporated Oswald, but you know, it incorporated Rapunzel and Gaston and Eve, but there wasn't much of Disneyland. And it wasn't until they started adding the attractions to the shop that they started adding the buildings from Main Street, the partner statue and all that stuff. That's when it kind of began to feel more Disney parks and more Disney in certain ways.
Yeah.
And then Storybook Vale came along, and that has felt most Disney since the beginning of the game. Like it's it feels like a storybook. It feels like
it makes sense.
Exactly, right? The way that the story is panning out and everything, again, it's very Sleeping Beauty, you know. So this is the first, like we've had other Star Paths, like with Monsters Inc. and, you know, with the Pixar stuff and everything. But this is the first time that I feel like it feels like the parks directly. Even the anniversary one with the parks. Like we had a Star Path that was for the parks that didn't feel as much like the parks, like this Alice one.
Which was confusing because that was the Disney
be
100.
Right.
They don't understand how these anniversaries work. It's fine, but whatever.
Right. And that's what I'm saying, that this one, with the things that we're going to be getting in the game, I've found, this is a conversation I kind of had with Jason at one point, that I feel like a lot of the enjoyment that I'm getting in the game isn't from the grinding and doing the Star Paths in general. It's from learning to decorate and learning to build the areas out and looking at people that are really good at it and trying to figure out, like, okay, well, I took this picture and it looks kind of okay, but what could I have done to make it look better? And then I go on these forums and I go to Reddit and I see people's posts. That's what we should do. We should go on Reddit and just talk about people's posts and get some inspiration for these things, because hot damn, like people are so good at decorating their valleys. I wish I had a little bit of that talent, because they do such a great job with the items that they have. And it's a lot of, like, it's not, the thing I've realized is that you don't have to buy the things from the shops. Like, I've seen a lot of people complain saying, like, oh, the people that are getting the most Moonstones weekly are the ones that are spending hundreds of dollars on the shop. It's not.
No.
A lot of the ones that are highly ranked are the ones that are getting the free things from the Star Path, or the things that you just buy in Scrooge's shop. They're just really good at decorating. It's all about how they're decorating, not how much money they're spending. So I've talked about doing the videos where we kind of do valley decorations, or we decorate the floating islands, and we just have like these sessions of, like, you know, brainstorming and, you know, imagineering our own areas in the valley. Definitely still on the list of things that I want to do. But this Alice one in particular is one that I've been the most excited about probably in the last year of playing the game.
Yeah.
Over even Storybook Vale, as much as I've liked that one, and I've been excited about it.
I mean,
so Andrew, now is the time.
To what?
To start playing again.
Yep.
Oh.
This is a Star Path you're not going to want to miss.
Yeah.
Coming soon to a Switch near you.
We shall see.
Switch 1, not even Switch 2.
Not even Switch 2. I mean, we'll see. I want to crack open the Switch again. But I don't have any time.
That's the hard
There's
part.
I have 4 tech weeks in 3 weeks coming up, and we'll see. I'll find some time eventually.
You can play while you're driving. You can play
Please
while you're
don't.
sleeping. You can play while
Remodeling a
you're in the
bathroom.
bathroom. You
Well,
could play
that's
like
entertaining.
yeah. While you're eating. There's so many like you know what I mean?
Sure.
Just find the time, Andrew.
Oh, okay. Okay, fine. Maybe I will.
Says the guy that barely has enough time to do any of his things.
Right.
All right. Well, I am excited about this one. I am going to try to find as much time as I can to play with this one. Like I said, the biggest reason we haven't done any of those streams is because our schedules are crazy with work and stuff. And sometimes we don't start recording until like 10 o'clock in the evening, you know, so by the time that we're available to actually do any of these streams, we're tired, you know, from life.
So if we forget stuff, that's why.
Yeah. If it ever feels like, why are they so absent-minded?
Everybody's
tired.
Yeah.
It's only midnight or so
Right.
sometimes when we're doing this.
Right. Let's see. Is it worth talking about the Mandalorian and Grogu trailer yet? I know that they were doing a Star Wars celebration in Japan, I think.
I mean, we could we could hit on it real quick as we are heading out the door. Or is there another topic? I can't remember what we had scheduled.
No, I think that was the majority of stuff that
there was a trailer.
There was a trailer
that somebody filmed.
Yeah, it looks like it was one of those like, hey guys, don't film this. This is just for you type situations.
It was like a long trailer. It was, So it looks like we got, Pedro Pascal is back and Grogu's back and Sigourney Weaver's back or new or I don't remember.
She's joining the party.
Sigourney Weaver's in it. Best known for her role in Finding Dory, Sigourney Weaver.
Galaxy Quest.
Melissa's giving me a blank stare that she forgot that Sigourney Weaver was in Finding Dory.
Yeah.
Well, I was just Dory right now because I forgot.
She was also in that the tall blue things, right? She was also in that.
Yeah, those people.
Yeah. No, remember in Finding Dory where she's like the voice of the aquarium or whatever? She's like, it's Sigourney Weaver and something like
that's
that.
right.
Like she voices herself.
Yeah.
It did not click until you said that. I'm glad you said it because it was not clicking for me.
This is why I have a podcast called Quizneyland. Quizneyland every other week on the Podketeers feed.
You just keep us on our
It just
toes.
was not clicking for me.
Yeah.
I lost my train of thought thinking
I
of
don't know.
Sigourney Weaver
Choo-choo.
now.
I don't know. Looked kind of fun. Mando's kicking butt and like stabbing, stormtroopers in the face with a knife and blowing them up with like his jetpack flamethrower thing. And
Yeah. Grogu trying to steal people's food
he
again.
like breaks a mouse droid apart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really wish they would have kept him inside of some kind of robot or some
That
kind
would've
of
been cool.
like mech thing like they had him in the Mandalorian series before that thing just blew up or whatever happened to it. Seeing Grogu fight like he's inside of Voltron or something would have been pretty awesome.
Yeah.
That is, like,
But
the
they
best.
should get him. He should get like a backpack or Baby Bjorn or something, at least to have him.
I mean, that's kind of how he's like carried around now.
A
Like,
bag.
he's in a Baby Bjorn,
He
like
is.
on the front of Mando. So, I mean, that's what they should have. They should have like a tie-in where there's like it looks like a leather strap or something like like the one that Mando has. They would make hundreds of dollars off of that thing.
Hundreds.
Off of like 2 or 3 that they sell.
But Star Wars
Baby
fans gotta
Bjorn,
have babies
the
too.
Mandalorian edition.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. We're getting what's the teaser that I saw? I don't know if there was any additional thing for this, but Star Wars Starfighter
Yeah, it's
Mickey
just
Mouse
a logo.
Club legend Ryan Gosling apparently is a part of this.
Yeah, and that's all we know. It may be based on a video game. We're not sure.
Well, there was a video game called Starfighter back in like 2001.
But it's going to be, what did you say, 7 years after the events?
It's like 5 years after the Rise of Skywalker. So technically, the game wouldn't have existed yet.
Right. But maybe it's like inspired by the plotting of this game, but transposed onto this new timeline or something.
Oh,
I don't know.
Yeah, I guess they could kind of do that.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Sean Levy, I think, is the director.
It'd be Ken in space with the lightsabers. I'm sorry. That's all I could think of.
That's funny.
I'm sure it'll be fine, but it's like the first thing I thought of. I'm like, okay, Ken, sure.
You know what's funny?
Yeah.
Ryan Gosling is like his roles. I don't think he gets enough credit for the roles that he does because I think he's really good at what he does. Like a lot of what Ryan Reynolds has done, especially with like Deadpool, because he's got that like delivery of like how he says things and that cadence, right? When he's talking like Deadpool, especially like Ryan Gosling does.
Movie.
Yeah, like Ryan Gosling does that in his characters as well, but there's a little more range in some of the things that he does. But Ken especially has this charisma to him that's so dry and it's so funny that if we did get like Ken in space, that'd be so freaking hilarious.
That would be.
It would be so
now
good.
That I think about it, I take it back.
Yeah, no. As soon as you said it, I was like, that would actually be kind of cool.
I hope they listen to us.
Ryan, listen. I know you're a Haunted Mansion fan, and I know you listen religiously. We saw from that video from 12 years ago recently that you're a Mansion fan. Come on the podcast. Let's talk Mansion.
Let's chat.
But yeah, when you do this, what is it called? Star Wars, Starlight, Starbright, First Star, TIE Fighter Tonight or something? What is it called?
I wish I may. I wish I might.
Shoot down a TIE Fighter from the sky.
And do as dreamers do.
And shoot down Sith Lords. Something, something come true.
I was like, I'll let you finish this, buddy.
I don't know what I was going to say. What is it called? I just said the name.
Starfighter.
Starfighter. That's what it is. I lost my train of thought after that song.
I don't know. Well,
I'm reaching
Ryan
the point
Gosling.
of delirium.
That's okay. We're just gonna say there's gonna be some Star Wars movies out. We hope they're cool.
We were inviting Ryan Gosling onto the podcast to talk Star Wars and Ken in space and stuff. So
And Haunted Mansion.
And Haunted Mansion. Yeah. Ryan, come on the podcast. Let's talk.
Yeah, because
all
they
that
should.
stuff.
They should just never. They should send Haunted Mansion Holiday to Walt Disney World.
That's right. That's right. Well, I mean, listen. If they alternated years, I'm totally fine with it. But really, the solution to all of this, I don't care. Okay, I'll just say it. I don't care. We need Haunted Mansion to be Haunted Mansion, especially at least up until Halloween. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
We are on 3 different pages. Melissa is keep it the way it is. Hasten says only Christmas time, and Andrew says burn it to the ground. Send it to Walt Disney World.
But that's not burning it to the ground. That's
let the
just sending
mansion
it to
be
Disney World.
let it be their problem. Let the mansion be the mansion. And then they can put like a Christmas tree in the corner, and it has little like bone ornaments or something, and there's your little Christmas decor. For the holidays.
I wonder what they're gonna do with the
new bride
barn.
Oh, barn. Oh,
during
barn.
Christmas for Mansion Holiday. I wonder if they're gonna dress it up.
Sally's barn. I don't know. It'll be, or it'll just not be.
There's gonna be a giant bow on top.
Boom. Boom.
I mean, it's one decoration. That's it. Budget. Woo.
Hey, you can do, like, I'll bring it up again, just like I was talking about. Big Santa hat on the building. You put a Santa...
Or a tiny Santa hat.
Or a tiny
Santa hat.
You put a Santa
gosh.
hat on anything, I'm happy about it. I'll bring it up at Christmas time again, but Santa hat on the Matterhorn, Santa hat on the Temple of Forbidden Eye.
You hear
Santa
that,
hat.
Vader? You hear that today? You guys are getting Santa hats.
Santa hat on Kylo Ren. Like,
His name is Matt, thank you.
Matt the
the technician.
Chewbacca with a Santa hat. Come on, how good would that be?
Chew freaking Baka.
Chew monkey fighting Baka.
The winner of this year's March Mayhem.
And then he got a Santa hat on.
With a Santa hat. Maybe we should do a March Mayhem in December Christmas edition.
These characters with haunted
It's all the same characters, but with Santa hats.
Santa hats on.
Yeah.
Who wore it best?
Oh, that would be fun. We like chaos, so yeah, let's do
Yeah.
this.
And
Oh
Santa
my
hats.
God, talk about chaotic. All right, I think that's where we can call the episode. There's other stuff on the list, but I think that's a good place to call it. What do you think?
Let's
You?
go to bed.
Yeah. All right, that's it. That's going to wrap it up. If you have any comments or questions about anything that we talked about in this episode, join us in the comments. We'd love for you to leave a comment, join the conversation. We also invite you to join us over on Discord. We have a small community that we're trying to build up over on Discord, so we'd love for you to join us there. Again, podketeers.com/links is where you'll find the link to join us. Disneyland was posted this last week as well. Make sure that you go check that out. Do you want to talk about what was in this episode, Andrew?
Yeah, there was. Let's see if I can remember it off the top of my head. There was something on something, and
Right.
Finding Nemo, and Jock Lindsay.
Yeah.
Coca-Cola, and let's see. Hold on, I know this one. I know it. I just recorded it.
Britannica.
Oh yeah, encyclopedias.
Encyclopedias.
Encyclopedia.
Those
According
green
to Ted
books.
Mosby, encyclopedia.
Encyclopedia. Nemo, Jock Lindsay, and Coca-Cola
That's right.
are topics for
That's
this
right.
past week's Quiznyland.
All right, check it out. Favorite podcast stream. You can also check out the Quiznyland playlist, by the way, podketeers.com/links. You can click on it there. It'll take you over to podketeers.com. We have the playlist available there with a player and everything, so you can just binge them all if you don't
Yeah.
have a favorite podcast
90
app.
episodes of that.
yeah.
show so
Right.
far.
And a lot of
Awesome.
knowledge.
That's a
Yeah.
lot of episodes.
That's another thing, by the way, podketeers.com, if you don't like to listen to podcast apps, I mean, they do make life easier because they kind of aggregate all the episodes. But if you can't have one running, or you just you want to listen to something while you're at work and you're able to, podketeers.com, we post all of the episode audio there. We have the Quiznyland playlist there as well. We have a playlist for the Armchair Imagineering episodes. So all of that stuff is available to play directly on the website as well. So check it out, or check us out on YouTube. Just let it play in the background. Subscribe, hit that like button. Feed that beast
Ding
known
the
as
bell,
the algorithm. Ding the bell.
Smash
All
the
of it.
button.
Yeah, do the
Smack the monkey.
doobly-doos and all that stuff. I don't know about that one.
Is
He
that
might
not
get
a thing?
angry and spit
Oh,
at you
okay.
or something. No, that's camels.
I
I don't know. We'll figure it out. Yeah, we'll figure it out. All right, that's it. Until next time, keep dreaming, keep moving forward, and always remember to pass on the magic. Have a fantastic week, everyone.
Bye.
See ya.